Welcome everybody to Texture Pop Podcast. I am back once again. I gotta stop leaving every other week.
Yeah.
Woo!
My name is Sam Callahan, and I will be your host for this week. Thank you, Chris and Brandon and Garrett, for being last week without me.
You're welcome.
Also, hey, I just realized I just said all your names. We'll say it again. I got Chris Acharya with me.
I can't get away from buying plastic figures.
Just, you should be an otaku. It's basically just all we do.
Oh, fuck.
Just buy all these plastic figures for like $75.
Yeah, but what if the stuff I buy has nothing to do with anime?
Well, that's something you can change.
Oh,
Just start getting you watching Black Rock Shooter and the Hatsune Miku.
please don't.
Have Garrett Gluziski.
Hello.
His name is now G Squared.
Yeah, and fuck
That's-
Master Yi. I'll get into that later.
And Brandon Carey.
But I'm Jesus, Jesus told Lightning. Not anymore, she replies. She throws a baguette at him.
Fucking Final Fantasy
Wow.
13 fanfics Twitter account. God damn it.
I love that account, man. It's so hilarious.
It's just, the only problem is they've already hit their peak. When it's just fucking found more kush of Anil's ass. Your ass is like Narnia. Like, you don't get any better than that. It's the
Lightning
greatest
removes
line.
her sunglasses. 13 days to save Twitter from the fuckboys.
It's just, you don't get any better. It's over. Once you did your ass is like Narnia, that's the height of your career. It's the height of fan fiction. Anyway,
Anyway.
instead of talking about Final Fantasy 13 fan fiction, let's answer some viewer questions.
Yeah, because we have a lot of those today, for
We have
once.
multiple.
We have two different people giving us questions.
I don't mean to blow anyone's
It's not
mind.
the same question, they're different questions.
It's true. It'd be great if they both asked the same question.
Man.
Just be like,
Speaking
fuck
of
it.
questions, we should probably get to them.
Right. If you would like to submit a question, comment, or story or something for us, then you can do so at thetexturepop@gmail.com. What is that email, Chris?
thetexturepop@gmail.com.
See, there you go. So easy to remember. Anyway, question from Daniel Z. I don't know what the first word means, but he says wahe. I don't know what...
It
Yep.
means hello. It's
Oh. Is that like a...
wahe. It's
is
a
that a baguette thing?
no. I have no idea where the origins are from.
Okay.
Is that kawaii?
Just keep reading.
It's like kawaii. Anyway, since I finally got an extended battery for my Wii U, so I don't have to charge it much, which involves an extension cord to reach the couch. This is related to... I don't know if you guys talked about the Wii U last week, but like 2 weeks ago when you asked another question about the Wii U, we discussed
Yeah,
our experience
I
with
remember.
charging it. Also about the Wii U, he says I've been enjoying Bayonetta 2, which is freaking awesome. Even the online multiplayer is pretty fun and a quick way to earn Halos. I've also been getting into Fantasy Life on 3DS, which feels like a mashup of Rune Factory, a good action RPG, as well as the class system from Dragon Quest IX. That's oddly specific. I also found myself getting into comics again with Rocket Raccoon, Usagi
Yojimbo.
And The Simpsons and the new Turtles and Ghostbusters crossover. That's a hell of a thing.
You're the weeaboo. I bet you know Japanese stuff.
It's comics! If it was
Yeah,
manga,
but everyone knows Usagi Yojimbo. That's a mythical story.
sure. I don't know. Is it Kawaii Destiny?
What the
What do you
fuck's
know if I know
Kawaii
Saki
Destiny?
Yojimbo from Ninja Turtles?
I don't know.
What the fuck is Iwagi Gesune? What the
Kawaii
fuck?
Desune.
What the fuck you just tell me?
I'm telling you, you're adorable. God damn it.
I'll accept that compliment.
Thank you. However, my question is, what is your favorite game composer and or video game soundtrack? I'd say hands down Motoi Sakuraba. Excuse me for butchering their names.
You're
Work on
Japanese.
work on wait, I got this. Valkyrie?
Valkyrie profile,
Yeah, there
correct.
you go. Not Valkyria.
Valkyria. Oh,
No, yeah, see that's what I did.
Valkyria
Guys.
Chronicles profile is Valkyrie.
Right. Valkyrie profiles, Star Ocean and Golden Sun. Also, his work for Tri-Ace and Camelot in general would be pretty good and gets me pumped for the game. Yoko Shimomura is pretty close second since she worked on all the non-Paper Mario RPGs in Legend of Mana. Wouldn't all the non-Paper Mario RPGs just be the one on the NES? Oh, like the DS games too. I didn't think about that.
You
It
did
says-
just now, though.
I did. Both composers display a wide range of musical scores, but Sakuraba gets a bit of an edge for his complex rhythms and progressive rock, which makes for some of the best battle music in an RPG to me anyways. Looking forward to the next podcast and your responses. Thanks, Daniel. So what's your favorite video game composer and or soundtrack?
So,
Tough, man.
so
I
for me-
have. Oh, you go first.
What do you
So
press?
for me, a lot of this comes from 16-bit era games because there's a good amount of that stuff that if I had the ability to put it on an MP3 player and listen to it all day, yeah, I totally would. And whereas a lot of stuff modern day, obviously you have a lot of licensed music, but there is some really good like orchestrated stuff. But as far as video game centric composers, the ones that I never knew these guys by name until recently. I only knew they had to do with one of my favorite video game soundtracks, which was from Super Castlevania 4.
Ah,
Yeah. Simon's theme is still like one of the best damned songs. I mean, and Castlevania has a really good pedigree from having a great soundtrack. But theme of Simon Belmont, that's just God as far as that soundtrack goes. And according to the internet, the soundtrack for Super Castlevania 4 was composed by Masanori Adachi and Taru Kudo.
God damn it, Adachi.
it's everywhere. Can't avoid it.
And what's funny is Taru Kudo credited as Masanori Odachi and Soji Taro, respectively.
All right, this is that era of Japanese development.
Yeah, like they would change their names and use different names basically, but which is funny how like nobody can really find out who the original directors and original staff on Street Fighter 2 was because people had used all kinds of fucking nicknames. But that's beside the point. Yeah, I love the fucking soundtrack from Castlevania 4. Like and granted, Rondo of Blood is also another one of my favorite soundtracks from just all of the legendary shit that people still
Castlevania
know.
has silly names.
Yeah, I know. But
Do you know though?
Uh,
Do you?
but it really was like a kick-ass soundtrack, and it had a lot of great stuff to it. So, and if those dudes were also responsible for that, then yes, I would say those guys are my favorite composers.
For me, I have a couple of big name composers that I would like to mention. The first would probably be Jesper Kidd. You've probably not heard of him by name, but he's done the soundtrack for most of the Hitman games
Ooh, that's an interesting pick.
and all the Assassin's Creed games before Assassin's Creed 3.
So he jumped out at a good time.
Yeah, he's known for the better soundtracks for those games. Trust me on that one. And aside from that, probably because I played them relatively recently, but the soundtracks, the Digital Devil Saga games, were really top notch. I believe they were composed by Shoji Meguro. If I pronounced that wrong, oh well. But those games really have some amazing soundtracks. Just go on YouTube and listen to them if you have some time. You'll see why I think that.
All right. I'm trying to think of like a few soundtracks. Like, I can't think of specific games so much as just a few that I really liked. Like, as far as music that really blends, I really like the Dark Souls music, but I like it so much that I barely notice it. It's kind of one of those funny things.
And by the way, thank
Or
you to
actually,
Daniel
Demon
for
Souls.
referencing Valkyrie Profile, because those were amazing RPGs
Yeah.
back in the day. Both 1 and 2.
I need to play those.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to come by nowadays, though.
Yep.
So good luck with that.
Yeah. Is the first one not on PSN, I'm guessing?
No, it's not.
Damn it.
Nope.
It's on PSP, but I think those games are now almost as rare as the original games were.
Yeah.
Christ. Looking forward to that.
If you found a PS1 copy of Valkyrie Profile, it's worth a couple $100
Jeez.
because of how rare it is.
I have to wonder how much an original copy of Grandia goes for.
Great idea.
Probably not much, because I know original Grandia is also on PSN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, though, I think Demon Souls actually might have a better, more notable soundtrack, especially one for the Adjuncticator was the really famous one because it truly, like, it's a boss fight with like this giant fat thing with a tongue on its stomach, and just when you first walk in, it just plays this lone trumpet. Just going do 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 do, and it's like, why am I listening to a trumpet while
shit.
fighting? It's weird. Like the Demon Souls soundtrack is better just because it's so obtuse. All the notable ones: David Hudson. He wrote Thomas Was Alone, the soundtrack for that.
Ooh.
I'm stalling. Where is it? Chris Remo, who did the Gone Home soundtrack. If only because when I listened to that, I started to cry. And it sucks, because that game makes me sad. Other than that, before I get to composers, I'm going to take a slight cop-out and say that I really like the band Crow's Claw, who does official, unofficial, metal band covers of the Toho
shit.
music soundtrack.
How
And they
could
have
I
like
forget?
15 albums.
That's
How
cool.
could I forget Daniel Korb and Ashley Barrett from the Bastion and Transistor soundtracks?
Ah! Daniel Korb is the best. Fucking
Mhm.
Transistor has such a great soundtrack.
Ashley
God,
Barrett's
yeah.
voice is amazing.
Oh man, I love listening to the bass and Gold Leaf on fucking Transistor soundtrack.
I could listen to just like her vocal performances in those songs forever.
You know what's another good soundtrack? Have you guys heard the fucking Dust Force soundtrack?
No, I haven't.
It's by Lifeformed. It's really good. I'll have to link you to that. That and Devin Vilbert, who did the Glitch Hikers soundtrack. You've probably heard of that because the Errant Signal video about driving alone at night. Cool game. Cool
Right.
soundtrack. As for composer, I think I would just take the easy one and say Uematsu, but not even because of Final Fantasy, but more because of the stuff he did with Mistwalker. Like, I really like some of the Lost Odyssey. I like a bit of the Blue Dragon stuff. Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Eh.
Okay.
What you got, Garrett?
For a composer, I would actually have to go with. Fuck, I gotta think about this.
That's why I made them go first. I got to think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know. There's I really like the Medal of Honor soundtrack.
And I remember
so-
that being really notable, the first Medal of Honor soundtrack.
It's
Yeah, it's
interesting because there's a school of thought where the best video game soundtracks are the ones that you don't really notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the new Medal of Honor, not the brand like the newest one that completely killed the franchise, but the one before that. I'm
New
trying to think
subtitle?
like the 2009 or 2010.
yeah.
or
I
whatever.
think it was just straight up called Medal of Honor.
It was.
Yeah, it was called Medal of Honor. That soundtrack is fantastic, and I have it on my iTunes. I have to look that up. But there was that. There anything from the Orange Box. Let me look at my iTunes real quick. The Bastion soundtrack. I know I know more soundtracks than I do.
Composers.
Yeah, the actual
Yeah.
composer.
Yeah.
That's
But,
the thing I was having trouble with when I was thinking about this question.
That's kind of the
Yeah,
weird
I'm
thing
like,
about being a composer for video games, I guess, is you're just much more noted for what you do than who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of, I think outside of video games though, but is still in some geekdom. I'd say Yoko Kanno. I'm a huge fan of Yoko Kanno. Yoko Kanno's really good, and surprisingly, Vince Guaraldi. Vince Guaraldi was a jazz artist who did a lot of the. Even if you don't know who he is, you know his music. You've heard him. He did the Peanuts songs. Yeah, all the Charlie Browns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the Charlie Browns, like
Oh yeah.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did that. So like everyone's
to
heard
go
him.
watch Peanuts now.
Yeah, even if they don't know him. So I've got a bunch. Yeah, I'm looking here. I've got Halo. So Martin O'Donnell. I guess I can say that one. Bastion. Yeah.
All right.
The Orange Box. Yeah. So I guess that's about as good as I can do there.
Nice.
All right. I guess we should move on to the next question then.
Yeah.
Next one is from the always wonderful Brandon Perkins, and we should probably email him sooner or later about things. Because I keep forgetting.
Probably.
I keep forgetting.
Totally did.
We don't forget about you, Brandon. Chris totally messaged you, and you probably put it in the spam folder, as you should. Love you too, Chris. Says, hey guys, hope it's warm where you guys are, because right now I'm basically freezing. Even in Georgia, it's actually
It's
cold.
getting pretty cold over here.
Even in Georgia, it's getting cold. You know, cold to my standards. We're not going to get into this again, but it's getting cold
yes.
for Georgia.
Burr 50s.
It's like 40s, thank you very much. It's gonna be in the 20s
Shit.
at night. For Chris, that's like summer.
You wuss.
I said to avoid this, but we can't. Anyway, questions. Says, first, I'm thinking about getting a Wii U for Christmas this year, specifically the bundle that comes with Super Mario 3D World. So those of you guys who have one, me and Chris, what games that are either out right now or coming out soon would you guys recommend? I'm planning on getting Xenoblade Chronicles X when it comes out, and Captain Toad is looking pretty neat as well. Hyrule Warriors, and then your life is over.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know why, but like it's funny because all the reviews were like, "Oh, it's just okay." Donnie Store's like, "No, like this
It's
fucking
fucking
game, man.
addicting.
It's addicting in the
is.
worst way. The adventure mode is gonna wreck your life for a while."
Yeah, I could not pull myself away from it for like months, and
And I'm still in the middle
just
of that.
just recently I finished the first illustration and got like a bunch of gold sculptulas.
That's some dedication, man.
Yeah,
I'm still working through the adventure
I don't
map.
know when I'm going to work on the next set, but it's going to be after a well-earned break though, because holy shit, have I put a lot of time in that game.
Did you start to like burn yourself out on it?
Yes. But as far as like games to recommend for him, like he's getting Super Mario 3D World. I wish I could get that. Like that is hype as shit as far as Mario games go. Like, yeah, I know there is a new Super Mario Brothers Wii U, but it's okay. It's not terrible. I know there are a lot of people that'll shit on that game for the same reason they shit on New Super Mario Brothers, but it's actually not that bad. But Super Mario 3D World, that is where shit is at. You fucking get that.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I got a copy of Super Mario Brothers Wii U and the Luigi pack when I bought my Wii U. Haven't bothered.
But and of course, Mario Kart 8, I love the shit out of.
Mm-hmm.
That was a game I got bundled with my console. Bayonetta 2, as you know, Dan also had mentioned.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2, and it comes with a copy of Bayonetta, which makes it a pretty great deal.
Yeah, you get both games for $60. That is great. As well as, you know, Smash comes out in the following week. Hopefully we have this podcast posted before it comes out the Friday that it's released.
I would like to think I'm not that slow.
But Smash is coming. And there's also, you know, the downloadable games that are out there, like Mighty Switch Force.
Yeah, I played the first one on the 3DS. It's pretty great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's a Pushmo for the Wii U as well.
Oh, yeah, Pushmo World. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't played it yet, but there is a Pushmo.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a really underrated gem.
I'm trying to think. Lego City Undercover, I've heard, is pretty decent.
And there's like Zombie U that you can probably get for like a couple bucks.
That is $15 on Amazon if you want a new copy.
So, I think there's stuff, and you know, some people would probably say there's not that much, but I mean, there's still a long ways to go.
Wonderful 101.
That's true. Anything but Platinum, basically.
Oh, yeah. Anything but Platinum that is on the Wii U, you fucking get it.
Anything Platinum on anything, just buy it.
Yep. Totally.
But even though there may not be like too much now, I'm sure there'll probably be another Mario game, like a Mario Galaxy 3 or something. And there's going to be the new Legend of Zelda to get. I mean, it's a Nintendo console, so you want it for the first-party stuff, but the first-party stuff's been real good.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So hopefully those recommendations work for you. I'm super psyched to play Xenoblade Chronicles X, but first I gotta finish Xenoblade Chronicles. It's on my list.
Yeah.
Everything
You
else.
on my
have
shelf.
a large list of things to play on.
Totally there.
A couple hundred games, let me tell you.
Well, that's your Steam list we're talking about.
Oh, God.
I have over 800 games now. Where did it all go wrong?
You let yourself go.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Samuel L. Callahan.
And I'm getting Far Cry 4 when it comes out, too. Because it's like Far Cry 3. That's all
Shouldn't
I
you
need
be
to know.
playing one of those 800
No!
catalog?
I gotta keep buying the new one and not finishing it because too many new games are coming out. It's gonna be like every year where, like, by February, I'll start working back at all the stuff I bought the prior year.
I am now down to 1,050.
I don't even know what that is.
Wow. I don't know where that came from.
That is you when you become an old man. You'll sound like a young boy making a Japanese schoolgirl impression.
by a Japanese schoolgirl.
Wow.
I don't even know.
I don't know either.
Well,
I
follow-up
don't
question.
even know.
Have any of you guys played Terra Battle yet? It's that iOS game that Mistwalker created with Sakaguchi heading the product. I downloaded it earlier this week and have had a great deal of fun with it. Thanks, guys. Adonis.
I have not, because I'm sick of seeing the article on Destructoid about it.
Wait, is this like a constantly updating article, or is it just
No,
still on the
it's
front
a
page?
sponsor article that keeps appearing on the top of the feed on
Oh.
Destructoid, and I'm getting really sick of it, so I have not played it for that reason alone.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to have a bit of a thing on a sponsored video I watched earlier this week later on, just because it's important. I haven't played it, but as a Giant Bomb Premium member, I saw Drew Scanlon play it on Unprofessional Fridays, and it looks really interesting. I downloaded it way back when I went to market a few weeks ago, but I never touched it because I was playing Device 6 a whole bunch. It was kind of one of the games that I thought, man, like once I get an iPad, I'll probably just play it on that a whole bunch. But I do have an iPhone too, and I have an Android phone, so I should probably just play it on any of those.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it at all. So
I've heard it's real good. It's weird, and I can't even begin to explain it without video, so you have to look
it's
it
a
up
card
yourself.
game.
No, not really. It's like a tactics game that's about lining. It's like a sort of deal where every turn you have a couple of tiles that you're working with, and you have like 4 seconds to make every move you need to make for the next turn. So it's basically
Okay.
just how fast you can move, and like your damage is based on like how many guys you can line up that cause different effects. Like if you can put someone next to a healer to heal them, or if you can put a wizard next to a fucking warrior, then the warrior will get buffed with fire damage and shit like that. I don't even know. It's weird. It seems cool, though.
About that.
And it is free. And from what I've heard, the freemium stuff isn't that egregious.
Which is good considering Square's track record.
Oh,
All the bravest.
the bravest.
All the bravest ways we can milk you for money.
Oh,
We're
fuck
so
that.
brave about how brash we are.
Yeah. You need to be brave. You have a big set of brass balls to pull that shit off.
Would you say that Square Enix has bigger brass balls than Jim Sterling right now? Just for the shit they pulled? It's a pretty tough question.
Well,
Either
Square
that, or
Enix
they're
get-
just
goes
either
with
that, or
all
they're
the
just
excuses
stupid.
It gives for all that bullshit.
Oh, Square. I want to love you, but you've been doing some weird shit lately.
Like all the bravest.
Like, maybe just stay out of the mobile game, or at least in America. I don't know.
In Japan. In America.
Because I'm trying to think, they got a Final Fantasy mobile game in Japan, right? That was part of the 13
Adjective
Fabula Novus Crystallis.
now called Type Zero.
But isn't that on the Vita now, or did it come out on the PSP?
It's coming to the Vita in America.
But wasn't it coming to the PSP originally? Because that game is so old now.
Yes, yes.
It was like, it's that old?
For the record, this was one of those games announced when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, this was like
I'm now a
Final Fantasy
college
13.
senior.
This is like Final Fantasy 13 is coming out. Here's 3 games, and it's like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, keep in
Final
mind, Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
Versus
Versus
13.
was coming out too.
Now called 15.
15. That's where we're at. 2 sequels
Was
later,
announced-
it's still not out.
Almost 8 years ago.
Oh my dear God, I'm old. I remember the first. I have a poster I got with my first girlfriend. I went to a fucking small store that sold posters, and I bought a Kingdom Hearts poster and a 13 Versus poster. Just consider that. God damn. Oh man, I feel old now. Anyway, let's not talk about Final Fantasy. You make me weird.
No, let's
Yeah,
not.
that's enough. That's enough. I think.
Let's talk about Destiny.
Was there any other viewer question
No.
in there?
That's all we got.
Now it's time for the usual shenanigans.
Just real quick, I should tell you that Google Now, which is like Google has like a sort of curated news feed on
The
your
sequel of
leftmost,
Google then.
but it has like a curated news feed like on the leftmost side of your screen. That's just kind of like, hey, here's some news we think is interesting based on what you Google search. So normally it's just like I'll search Lords of the Fallen. It's like, hey, we found some reviews for it, and I'll read those, and it'll be like, oh, here's some Lords of the Fallen walkthroughs, or here's some new Bloodborne news. I'm like, that's cool. And then just the other day, it keeps populating my feed with Sonic Boom and Destiny articles.
Oh Jesus!
And I'm like, this is hilarious.
It knows what you like.
I've never searched Destiny before, though. Like, I've never YouTubed it. I never Googled it, ever. I've watched videos on
The
it.
name is associated with the texture pop.
I guess.
And we are the best Destiny cast on the network.
It's because I uploaded something with Destiny in the title. It was like, oh yeah, you like Destiny, right? I'm like, yeah, that's why I made that.
No,
The
recently.
Sonic Boom thing is hilarious because I keep getting reviews for Sonic Boom, and I want to read them all.
I know. I recently read some thoughts a friend of mine had on Sonic Boom, and not that
Best
great.
Crash game we've had in a while.
Yeah, Crash, quote-unquote game. Oh my god, dude.
Like,
Giant
not the
Bomb
game,
Quick Look
but-
is just... Or better yet, watch the Pro Jared review. I can link both those in description, because
Yeah,
just, my god.
I've not seen anything about the game, but a friend of mine who he likes to do reviews on various cartoons, Toon Critic Y2K as he calls himself,
We can-
and yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. He's a pretty funny guy, and he has a blog on DeviantArt where he talks about like various cartoons and stuff. And he talked about Sonic Boom as a show, and it's kind of lame.
I heard the show was alright.
Just kind of lame?
It's like it doesn't do anything to make it astoundingly terrible, but it's also kind of boring because like it basically goes for comedy. It's not trying to take itself seriously at all. Like it's not trying to like Sat AM did, you know, like that show. Robotnik's just this big loser. Like why is he even?
Don't you
Robotnik
mean
is not.
Eggman?
Yeah, he doesn't do anything to make himself considered a
He's
threat.
always been Robotnik, dude.
In fact,
He's been Eggman.
the show kind of does the whole thing. I'm not going to describe the whole thing. All I'm going to say is that the show's sense of humor, like, just thinks that kids are stupid, and when the jokes fail, and they fail hard, and the writing is just pretty poor. So
honest question: does Sonic like chili dogs in this? Is that like a thing?
yeah, he does, but at the same time, like I said, the premise for one of these shows, because they'll do that thing where it's like there's two 15-minute stories or 20-minute stories.
Did you
like,
know that Sonic's not his real name?
Not.
His real
fuck
name is
do I care?
his real name is Maurice.
Is this like
Whatever.
some like, old Sega document thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But the whole thing about like I said, one of the premises of the show was that Robotnik needs a place to stay, and he becomes roomies with Sonic for a bit, and he does
look
the
at
annoying
wacky
roommate.
adventures.
Yeah. That's that. Let
Like a
that give you what the
sitcom.
show is going for.
Also, I like the
Yep.
idea of the annoying roommate because kids watching that show are probably not old enough to understand the concept of the annoying roommate and
Yes.
the real problems with a roommate. You know, they understand their sibling as a roommate, but they don't understand real fucking terrible roommate problems.
No.
Oh my god. That's the thing that sucks, though, is just what you said, like, it's a show that treats kids like idiots. Because I feel like with stuff like Adventure Time, we were getting past that and started treating kids like intelligent human beings that can understand jokes.
Do you remember those old ones like Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
They had all kinds of weird
Love that
humor.
I loved that show as a child.
Oh
Show's
yeah.
pretty fucked up, man.
Oh
So many
man.
levels, too.
Yeah.
Good show. So yeah, Sonic Boom, Game of the Year.
Obviously.
It's just like one of those things like nobody seems surprised when it's like, oh, Sonic Boom's not good. Oh, really? It's like I don't know. Like I don't know what I
think it's
expected.
more like, oh, really? They say in a sarcastic tone.
Yeah. It's like I really don't know what I expected. There was part of me that thought it could have been interesting, but as soon as I saw him walking around at a normal clip, I was like, wasn't Sonic supposed to go fast? Wasn't that the whole joke? Or like the whole like marketing
Yeah.
thing? Was that he's supposed to be faster than Mario?
Sega
Yep.
does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah. Sega does fail.
Just go out of business, apparently.
Sega goes bankrupt, Nintendo don't. I was gonna say that could happen, but apparently one, these things sell, and two, Sega's got way more projects going on.
Yep.
So even if every Sonic game sold 0 copies, it would not be enough to bankrupt the company. Because they got Valkyria Chronicles outselling Assassin's Creed Unity.
I
Good
know.
guy, Sega.
I love that. I love it. I absolutely
Just,
love it.
people
Like,
at Ubisoft must be slamming their fucking fists, or just not even just
Oh,
like
God.
marketing.
I
or
love
whatever.
that you beat Assassin's Creed by putting out admittedly one of their best games.
But it's like a
that.
7-year-old port of a great game beat out a fucking brand new, high marketing budget AAA title for the year.
Then again, that's Valkyria Con talking about. That
Sure.
was
But it's not like it was well
that was
known.
a criminally undersold game.
But the thing is that it's funny. It sold well because it was critically acclaimed and commercially failure.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny that all of a sudden, I guess people were just like, "Well, it's on PC," and everybody's talking about it. It was like just the right time. Like,
And
yes.
it's only $20.
Yeah, I think that really helped. But I think it was also just timing. Like, I don't, I feel like the tastes of gamers have changed quite a bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if people bought it just because of all the tweets going around about how bad Unity was. That people were just like, I just want to buy a good game for the week.
It's a great example of how graphical style means more than graphical fidelity.
Yeah. And
Like, if you just look at how the graphics look,
That's
like,
actually
not
really-
how high res they are, but how they look, it's amazing.
That's actually a really good comparison to Unity because it has a simpler graphical. How do you put it? Like,
It looks like a painting.
Yeah, but I was gonna say because of the less technical use it has, the less problems it can encounter. Whereas
Hell,
Unity,
that's why the graphics engine was called Canvas.
yeah, it looks gorgeous, especially in motion.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
cool
God,
game.
yeah.
I should play it some more. And
You
then I'm gonna
should.
go play the sequel.
Then we can talk about it. And by that I
Uh,
mean I can talk about it.
By the way, I think I asked you this at one point, but you played it in English, right?
Correct.
Yeah. English isn't that bad. It's not great,
Because
it's not
I am
bad.
not a weeaboo.
I just believe in playing things in the original language for the most part. I do that with a lot of games.
And I believe in teasing the hell out of you.
Just fucking weebs everywhere. Anyway. So we didn't even got to the part where I asked you guys what you did this week. So, I don't know. Brandon, what'd you do this week? Let's get you out of the way.
Okay, let's start off with the big thing is that I have finally beaten Shin Megami Tensei 4.
Holy shit.
You're just knocking these out like week after week. Like,
Well, no, that took me 3 weeks.
well, I know. But I was gonna say like you started all these like weeks ago. It seems like every week you're like, I beat this Tensei game and this Tensei game.
Yeah.
Just because you
But
started them all
that
like
is
months ago.
actually that is the last one on my list.
Ugh.
That's the last Atlas game on my list. Until Persona Q comes out anyway.
Fucking Persona Q, man. I'm so excited.
This is canon.
So
So,
canon. It's so much canon.
Now that I've gotten to the end of Shin Megami Tensei 4, one thing about it really pissed me off.
Uh-huh.
As the game goes on, you make choices and dialogue that affects your alignment towards law or chaos. And at the end of the game, that alignment affects what ending you get.
Mm-hmm.
I got the law ending, and I hate the law ending. Because I was going for neutral, because it's a scale from negative 100 to a positive 100. If you're between negative 8 and positive 8, you get neutral ending.
Mhm.
So I was making new choices for the end of the game. What I did not know at the time, when I played this, is that as there are certain story events that you have to take a part in to advance the plot,
Yeah.
and they affect your alignment.
Huh.
So you could beat a story critical boss and get a shift towards law or towards chaos as a result of beating that boss. And overall, in aggregate, those decisions skew towards law. So if you want to get the neutral ending in this game, you basically need a walkthrough. Because you will
Wow.
not get it by just being a neutral character.
That sounds kind of shit.
It is shit. That's why I'm angry at it.
Yeah, it seems like a kind of deal where it's like you have to beat a boss and then be a dick for a while to people just so you can bring the rating back down to the middle.
Well, no, the way law versus chaos works is that law is choices that skew towards keeping the status quo the way it is, and chaos choices that are more towards just having a free for all, essentially.
I love free for alls.
And at the end of the game, if you are in favor of law, you and your friend basically destroy Tokyo in order to make sure the Eastern Kingdom of Hokkaido can stay in peace forever.
See,
the
this is
lie,
why
man?
moral choice systems in games are bullshit.
Whereas if you choose the chaos ending, you join Lucifer in his quest to destroy the archangels.
Oh, of course. Naturally.
And if you choose neutral, you just kill both.
That is definitely the best
You kill the guy in charge of law, you kill the guy in charge of chaos, and say, you know what? You're both a bunch of raving dickholes.
This sounds just like Nocturne. Or am I
It
crazy?
it is in many ways. Shin Megami Tensei is notorious for saying both law. It's like Assassin's Creed in a weird way, where the Templars are extreme law and the Assassins are extreme chaos. But in the real world, nobody would side with either one of those
Yeah,
guys
because they're just so extreme.
because they are so extreme that they are off-putting. In the real world, you would say, well, hold on a minute. You're both acting like a bunch of pricks.
Come on
Let's
here.
calm down for a second.
Just everybody calm your tits, all of them.
So yeah, it's a complete crock of horse shit. And
Just what I wanted to hear.
though the game itself it plays really really well, the whole choose your ending based on your alignment is total horse shit, and I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it.
And one more thing while we're on the subject of SMT4 that I keep forgetting to mention because it seems like a minor detail, but it's a major one in the game's combat system. I've told you guys about the pressure system several times. I imagine you've heard me talk about this a couple times about Digital Devil Saga and Nocturne, the way the combat works in these SMT games.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
In this game, in order to kind of go skew towards that, if you do well, you do really well. If you do bad, you do really bad. If you exploit enemy's weakness, there's a chance your character will smirk. And if your character smirks, his weaknesses are covered. He has a double damage for physical attacks, a 90% chance to hit, and 95% chance to critical. And his evasion rate is doubled until his next turn.
If he smirks, like his portrait, you mean?
No. Like
Or it'll say like it'll say like in text.
It'll just say X smirks, and you'll get a status boost.
Does it tell you about that?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Well, no, it doesn't tell you. You have to figure this out as you go through the game.
Oh.
But because Super Intensity does not hold your hand.
Apparently not.
It will not hold your hand. It will force you to learn. That's the thing.
Learn.
That's why it's such a hard game to recommend to people because
Learn, bitch.
It's a great JRPG, provided you are willing to take the time to learn.
What if I don't have time to learn?
Then you're gonna die.
A lot.
You're gonna die a lot until you do learn.
Just no time to learn.
And since the game is so much more convenient than previous SMT games, it gives even less of a fuck if you care. It gives even less of a fuck towards you. Okay, yeah, we'll let you fuse the demons you want, but because we're doing that, we're gonna make these battles harder for you. You're gonna have to eat it.
Just
Okay.
eat it.
Yeah,
Just
so
eat it.
that's interesting little game, and I'm glad I'm finally finished with it. I'm playing it on and off afterwards while I'm on commutes, just to finish off my compendium and all that shit. But I like it personally. After going 10 plus minutes bitching about it,
Tell
but
you really like it.
aside from that, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Yes.
Oh shit.
The
Which
good
is
Assassin's Creed, apparently.
It is the one for the PS3 and the 360.
Exclusive last gen.
Which is
Yeah.
still a lot of people, apparently.
And the premise of Rogue is that you are playing as an assassin who, after certain events in the story, switches over to the Templar side.
I try to remember, was fucking the Connor's dad in 3, was he formerly an assassin? Or was he always a Templar?
No. In his father, Edward, was an assassin. He became a Templar and learned about that later on in his life.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was always a Templar. He just found out that all of his relatives have been assassins.
Man, that must have been really awkward after a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was. I imagine. But what's interesting about this game is that it kind of takes a lot of the old mechanics, flips it on its head. Like, what if you were on the Templar side of this assassination mission? Whereas instead of getting assassination side missions, you'll get assassination intercepts, where you will intercept one of the assassins' courier pigeons and defend the target, one of their targets, from assassination.
Huh. So it
Like-
actually has, like, gameplay differences. It's not
Yeah,
just like,
there's
hey,
some
you're a Templar.
differences where you will, Yeah, you have this guy who you don't want to die because he's an assassin's target. So you have to kill off the assassins before they get the chance to strike.
All right.
And you remember the shipboarding mechanics in Black Flag?
Yes.
Well, you can do that in this game too, but there are also ships that can board your vessel.
Oh. That's
And
new.
if they do, then you have to kill them off before they start killing off all your crew.
Yeah, I remember seeing like some of the ship stuff, and my first thought was, I guess it was just like in case you wanted one more ship-based game.
It is definitely in many respects an update to Black Flag
Yeah.
for both better and worse.
But where does it
Like-
take place? Because I saw snow everywhere.
It takes place in the North Atlantic for the most of the game.
Interesting choice.
So my question is, do you still feel like a pirate when you do all that shit in Rogue?
Not so much. You feel like a
Mhm.
Templar more than you do a pirate.
Great.
Although you do all those mechanics. It's like how in Freedom Cry when you play as Adewale, you don't feel like a pirate because you feel like Adewale wouldn't do that.
He's kind of not a dick.
Can you still hunt for treasure?
Yes, there are
Alright.
still Templar maps that you can.
All right, I'm good.
Yep. We're okay.
Because to real quick, it's a lot of problems people are having with Unity right now. Because Unity just
Yeah.
feels like a fucking step backwards. Whereas Assassin's Creed 4, not only were you a pirate and it opened up things, but it was like you felt like a fucking pirate. You know,
Yeah.
do what you want because a pirate is free. You were a fucking pirate. You could go
Yeah, everyone's
treasure,
definitely
ransack ships. and-
on the everything is permitted side of the Assassin's Creed,
yes.
and he reveled in that.
Oh, Assassin's Creed 4.
But I do think that Shay, the protagonist of Rogue, is an interesting character so far. I like him, and I understand why he switched to the Templars. It's something that you understand why he did what he did.
Does it make you feel for all the Templars in the series, or is it just him specifically? Like he has his specific reason.
It's nice that you finally get to understand a bit more of the Templar cause. I don't know if you empathize with them per se, but you don't think of them as enemies.
Interesting.
You think of them more as people you disagree with. Like your annoying uncle that you love but has the completely incorrect political opinion.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, like,
You
now
know
I think
that
about
guy.
it. Yeah. But it's kind of funny to think about how, like, the one that explores more of the Assassin's Creed lore is considered, like, the side story, like, the other
Yeah.
game. And it's like, I guess that is more of a testament of saying Ubisoft doesn't really care
And
that
it
much
feels
about
more
their
like a
lore.
sequel to Black Flag as well because you're playing as the guy from the Abstergo employee from
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed
it's
Black
always like the
Flag.
first-person computer
You're
stuff
playing
in
as
real
him
world.
again. Literally the
Oh,
exact
is it the same
character.
guy? Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, I don't know if Unity has any of that. Like, nobody seemed to mention it, so I don't know.
From what I know about Unity, although I haven't played it yet, even though I have a PS4 now,
No, good for you. I don't remember, unless you got that
I
last week.
I bought it literally yesterday.
Oh! Well, congrats! I want to get
Yeah.
one. It's got games on it that I won't play.
No.
I bought Unity, Shadows of Murder, and
Shadows of Murder. It's my favorite.
and Infamous Second Son with my PS4.
Well, good
Before
luck with
playing
Unity.
them.
I hope it works.
Well, I mean, I'm not a PC master race, so of course it's gonna work fine for me.
Well, I had a friend of mine who has an Xbox One who was playing it and telling me about it at work. Well, it's a coworker of mine, and he was like angry at how many technical problems he came across. I was like, you
Yep.
poor bastard. I'm just gonna sit here and keep playing fucking Freedom Cry and Liberation.
Oh yeah, Liberation. That was a good Assassin's Creed game. I mean, it was when it wasn't on the Vita.
Yep, when it wasn't on the original console it was made for.
Yeah, Chris and I were talking about this before the cast started, but yeah, Liberation. They definitely did well with the HD remake.
Well, you'll have to tell us about Unity next week. So I'll be really curious to hear from a friend of mine what it's actually like.
Yeah. And aside from those two games, the one last thing I've been getting weirdly into Plague Incorporated lately.
Oh, I
And
remember
I
that
know
game.
what that is.
For those of you who aren't aware, Plague Incorporated is a game where you play as a disease with the intent of infecting and killing every human being on the planet.
Yeah, there was Contagion or something like that.
Yeah,
on,
I think it was
or
like an
not
original like
Contagion.
Flash game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was a version on Steam called Plague Inc. and Evolved, and that's really fun to play, especially since it has the Steam Workshop compatibility
Oh, cool.
for custom scenarios.
Pandemic, that was the name of it. Pandemic.
Yeah, so you can play as like the lycanthropy, for example, trying to turn everyone into a werewolf,
Oh, yes.
or vampirism, like those classic fantasy diseases. Or if you're into sci-fi conspiracies, a disease that turns everyone into reptilian aliens.
I mean, but that's already happened.
The truth is out there, Scully.
It's out there. I put it in my drawer somewhere. It's out there.
It's in the X-Files.
It's next to the Y files.
Oh man,
This is what the show has turned into.
that's just some grown-worthy shit. You guys gotta
Me and
realize
Brandon are
that.
just signing together now.
Hey.
Chris just grown out loud.
Hey, Chris, you might not like it, but I'm happy.
I'm glad you are.
That made me happy.
Just hear Chris go,
Holy
oh,
shit.
God.
But yeah, that was pretty much my week. I don't have much to say about Plague Inc. Evolved because it's pretty self-explanatory,
Yeah.
and
It's a game.
it does its job. It's a nice, simple game for a quick, fun time.
Yes, viruses. Loads of fun. Alright, fuck, Chris, you want to talk about shit?
Okay, so, like I had mentioned, I finally managed to pull myself away from Hyrule Warriors simply because I feel like I've hit a milestone.
Well, that was fun.
Okay, as I was saying, I'm glad I'm not recording tonight.
Minor technical difficulties.
This
Welcome
would
back,
have
everybody.
fucked it all up.
We are back from
Okay.
difficulties with the technical side.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying, you quit Hyrule Warriors because you hit a milestone.
Well, I completed one of the first illustration, and which was basically involving like getting the first set of gold sculptulas, and then getting at least 2 of them by playing on hard difficulty, and I managed to complete most of that game on hard.
Is it like noticeably more difficult on hard?
Yes and no, depending on who you're playing with. If you're playing with the character that you have at a fairly high level, it kind of feels the same. But if you were playing with somebody that you have not leveled up that much, then it's noticeably different. So it really just depends on character level. It's kind of basically the cap on enemies and how well they go. So, but yeah, that's still a good game, and I may go back to it eventually. But considering the backlog of shit I have, I would like to play some other stuff. That being said, I know in previous episodes of the show, I may have not spoken very favorably about Disney Infinity.
Yes.
I would go so far as to say I kind of hate that first game. It's disgusting, and I don't recommend people buy it. However, I've been playing Disney Infinity 2.0.
Oh, there it is.
Oh god. And I told myself I wasn't going to do it. Now, to my credit, I did not buy this game. This was purchased by my mother, who has a penchant for collecting stuff, and she also really adores like a lot of the Marvel superheroes right now, mostly because of the Avengers movies and the like, right? So the chance to have little figurines to stand up along with all of her other various knickknacks, which there are a lot of, she got this game, and now she does own an Xbox 360.
Huh.
And like she has one in the house for when the grandkids come over, but she also adores the fact that she could play Ms. Pac-Man on it, which I downloaded for her after I bought her a points card.
Bought a 360 to play Miss Pac-Man.
That and
great.
like stuff for the grandkids to play when they come over and stuff. But and she did buy the original Disney Infinity, and well, actually, I bought that copy for her for $25 because I had a coupon. I had shared that story before, but I'm not gonna get into it again now. But yeah, the original Disney Infinity does some really gross stuff that I thought was just really working against it. Like I'm not going to get too in depth as to why. You can watch Aaron's Signal about it, which if Brandon were here, he would tell you he would tell you that Aaron's Signal, pretty much backs it up.
Yeah, no, I watch him too.
Yeah,
definitely so.
But Disney Infinity 2.0, they have fixed a lot of stuff that it seems like they wanted to take into account, like what people were saying and what problems people had with the last game. And while they haven't fixed everything, they've made a good amount of improvements where I would almost go as far as to say, yeah, play this. This actually feels pretty cool. Especially if you do have a penchant for Marvel heroes and the like. I'm not saying that should be the only reason why you get into it, but like for starters, the whole gross concept the original game had of spins, to where you could unlock stuff because you had this big creator tool, but a lot of the shit in it was locked unless you used spins in the Disney Vault to unlock shit, right? And how do you get more spins? Well, you got to level up your characters, and they all go to level 15. So you can only get 15 possible spins from each character.
It's just so weird because it's a full price game using like free to play stuff.
And you have to. So when you have maxed out the levels of the 3 characters that come in the box, you got to buy more to get more spins. Or if you have a friend who brings his figures over to max them out. That system has been thrown out the window in 2.0. And basically what they did was the game has an in-game currency of blue sparks, which you use to buy stuff in the toy box with. So now, basically, rather than having to level up or any of that bullshit, it's about grinding because you get blue sparks for doing just about anything, whether you're editing stuff in the toy box, whether you are playing the actual mission modes and stuff, and like the playset levels, which are actually kind of cool. You get blue sparks. So theoretically, with everything that comes in the box, with the 3 figures that you get, you could unlock every toy in the toy box, with the exception of the stuff that's exclusive to like the other playsets like Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man.
Cool.
Because this one comes with the Avengers playset, right? And this one feels like so the playsets themselves, they fleshed them out a lot more. Because the playsets in the original game just felt like tutorials for the toy box mode, which was pretty dumb. Of here's how you can customize a thing. Here's your it didn't feel like a substantial game. That kind of feels a lot different now. This almost feels like, referring back to the Aaron Signal video, it kind of feels like something you would have seen for a kid's game on a PlayStation 2, to where like it's simple, but there is some depth. There's an upgrade system. There's actual like story and production value.
Actual production value.
Yeah.
Put that on the back of the box. This time around, action production value.
Like, I haven't looked it up, but I think they actually did get Samuel L. Jackson to play Nick Fury in this game.
Really?
Like, holy shit! Like like he's in like the Avengers playset. Well, he's also in the Spider-Man playset too, because he is a playable character figure.
I have to wonder though if that's part of some kind of deal for being Nick Fury. Like every Marvel-related thing, he has to voice
probably.
I mean, Disney's got Disney has got the paycheck to get him to do voice work for a video game.
Plus, it's Samuel Jackson. At that point, he basically is Nick Fury.
Yeah,
that version of Nick Fury, especially, was based around Samuel L. Jackson when they remade the character. But yeah, it totally works. But yeah, like it actually feels like a pretty solid game. And I mean, granted, the missions can probably feel a little repetitive, but that's kind of what some of these games were like on the PS2 and like for a younger audience.
I think Cancer said as much when he does Aaron Signal on the new Disney Infinity.
Yeah,
how it basically addressed most of his issues.
Yeah, so I'm basically I understand. I'm basically repeating a lot of what that dude said, but he's totally right. I mean, this game feels like an improvement in a very large number of ways, and yes, this would probably be worth it if you wanted to check it out. And there's a lot of, and like I said, the simple fact that you can actually get a lot more content out of it with just what's in the box, that's really good. Because before, you were very limited with what you had in that first starter pack bullshit from that very first game. This one gives you a lot more to work with. So yeah, I am digging a Disney Infinity 2.0, and I've been playing around a little bit with like the missions in the Avengers toy box. Because also one of the things I do like about this is that they do allow some characters, not every character, but some of them can cross over into different playsets. Because that was another big stupid problem the last game had, is where it was like, well, what if I want to play in Monsters U with Mr. Incredible? No, you can't do that. That's too weird. Like, come on, really? Like the whole premise of this game is like weird Disney mashup stuff, but no, they don't want you to do that with like the playsets.
Then again, they would have had to with this new one because so much crossover happens in Marvel, and it really wouldn't make any sense.
And granted,
if it didn't have that ability.
And granted, there are still some limits to it. Like the Avengers playset, there are still some characters that are compatible with it, but there are also other characters that they allow to cross over, like Rocket Raccoon and Nova from the Spider-Man playset and Guardians of the Galaxy, respectively. So of course I'm like, well, let me play as Rocket, and sure enough, it's basically they have these things called crossover coins, which are collectibles that are super easy to find. And then once you find those, it's like, oh, now you can totally play as Rocket. And I'm like, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. And funny enough, Rocket is voiced by Nolan North. Which just makes me wish Deadpool and Rocket could have a conversation. That's just see how that would go down.
Nolan North talks to Nolan North.
Yep, basically. So yeah,
Nolan North as Desmond Miles talks to Nolan North as Nathan Drake.
God. Also Nolan North as the boss of the Saints, in which he's just Nolan North.
I play Saints Row 4, and I play it with Nolan North.
There is male and female protagonists, and then there's Nolan North.
Yeah. It's literally just Nolan North, and I'm like, that's the best voice. I'm going for that.
God,
It's
like even
so
like in
great.
even in some of the dialogue, he's like being Nolan. Like, yeah, he's just it's so good. But yeah, I do plan to spend some more time with Disney Infinity 2.0 and probably, eventually finish the Avengers missions, and because unlike the last game where it was like I bought a couple figures for the sake of having the figures, I've already bought like 4 figures for this thing.
Yeah, the Venom figure.
I don't, but my mom does. My mom has bought more of these than me.
Oh,
that's
no.
amazing. That's
frightening.
That's great. I love it.
Just the best.
I mean, so far, like, I bought Captain America because Captain America. You know?
Fair enough.
He's a guy. You love Captain America.
I've actually been thinking about just buying some of the figurines to have, because the figurines.
I know,
That's
right?
what Chris did.
Like the Jack Skellington one. They're like, this is a super special edition Jack Skellington, and now you can get it at Walmart.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that. Because like that first game, like I bought the figures, and I thought the figures were more interesting than the game itself. I was like, yeah, Jack Skellington and Wreck-It Ralph. Now I have them on my desk. Whereas because Disney Infinity 1.0 was so shit, and it's like I don't really care to play it. I'm just this on the other hand, like I said, I got Captain America, I got Iron Fist because I think he's pretty cool. Rocket Raccoon, obviously.
Yeah.
And last Saturday, when I went to see Big Hero 6, of course I had to get the Baymax figure. Because after seeing that movie, you can't help but love Baymax and just want something with his face on it. Because holy shit, Baymax stole the show in that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how it was, but I'm assuming good.
Oh god, it was great. Yeah, I recommend that movie to anybody.
Cool.
I mean, granted, it could stand to be longer, but man, it's
on a scale of 1 to awesome.
Awesome. It's really awesome. Go see it.
Bam.
Just go see it.
Chris Charles review of the week.
Something I was telling Brandon earlier, like I told him I was doing something really stupid, and I watched a video on how to level up your characters really fast in Disney Infinity 2.0 because the developers got kind of smart and decided to nerf all the existing methods that people used to spam in the original game, right?
Right.
But of course, when you put a creator tool as powerful as this one, or at least as powerful as they advertise,
they'll find a way.
Yes, they did.
It's kind of like Little Big Planet, how there are a ton of trophy hunting levels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like, get this trophy, get this trophy.
And
Precisely
basically,
the reason of getting one trophy.
yeah, and basically what I have been doing the whole time while I'm sitting here is that I have this tower of enemy generators that hit constant kill switches and death traps to where all of the experience and sparks just fall down on my character, and I've just been sitting here leveling up, not doing a damn thing, and just
Wouldn't
watching.
sparks falling like that be dangerous?
Should be.
Sparks are basically experience in this game,
I know.
as well as
What if
currency.
they're Nicholas Sparks? What if they're notebooks everywhere?
What are Nicolas Cage's?
Oh no! It'd be beautiful.
Oh man, that'd be insane. But
Just cages everywhere.
yeah, it's really ridiculous how well this works. So that's what I've been doing the whole time while I'm sitting here. Because I told Brandon I'm doing something incredibly stupid, and that is
Sure
I'm
enough.
playing Rogue right now, so
I'm playing.
Yeah, that's
Hyrule
pretty dumb, too.
Warriors.
But yeah, I think that really is kind of the extent of my week. So
All right, cool. So Garrett, what's been going on?
Was playing some League. I'm trying out Caitlyn now as my ADC rather than Jinx.
Is she a new
have
character?
Yes, I follow this.
no, Caitlyn's not a new character.
Oh,
She's
okay.
been off for a while. She's actually
Sounds
newer,
familiar.
or she's actually older than Jinx is. Played a game, and we lost because we had or on the opposite team there was a jungle Master Yi. That guy's fucking cheap.
Yeah, you've been.
You've been
now
talking
explain to
about
me who Thunder Master Yi is.
It's a pretty cool fucking rap name.
Master
Yo, I'm
Yi
Thunder Master Yi.
is a cheap character. He's very. I'm trying to think
How
honestly.
cheap is he?
Well, he
What are we, match game?
all of his depending on how you build him, all of his auto attacks, he can pretty much just one hit you because he's got so much tank to him as well as attack and speed. He's a piece of shit.
So that's just what I wanted.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
you should just get good, noob.
Yeah, I know.
Get better.
And then
games.
enjoying the Summoner's Rift update. That's really fucking cool.
Oh wait, that finally came
Yeah.
out. Like the big
Yeah.
update where like they changed the look of
Yeah,
the map and all that.
Yep, it's a beta. It's only available in Team Builder and bots, but it looks really
Oh,
nice.
that's great because I don't play with real people. They're terrifying.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
mean, yeah, because I was hearing a good amount about that of changes and stuff that they're doing to that map. Like,
yeah, it's really cool.
as well as funny story. Something I did earlier was I opened up my fucking League of Legends client for the first time in a while,
Oh,
and I thought it was funny how the dialogue thing came up and said, "By the way, we no longer use Pando Media Booster, which we used to use increased downloads. Now it's useless. Do you want us to uninstall it for you? Like is there
Yes.
any benefit to leaving it in there?
it's like otherwise, yes.
God, what else? Oh,
Fucking
my little
Pando
sister.
Media Booster.
My little sister popped into a bots game, and the new Summoner's Rift is so it
Did the textures
requires
pop?
it requires so much from your PC. Her little Toshiba just can't handle it, and she
Aw.
seriously had 0.5 frames a second or some shit.
Oh God.
That's just
It-
impressive. Congratulations.
Yeah, like she was seriously I think she had like a frame every 5 seconds. Like that was how bad it was freezing up on her.
Wow.
The game was like freezing up on her, and I'm like, yeah, you can't play League anymore.
So was she normally able to play it fine before that?
It looked like shit. She ran it at 15 frames a second, but yeah.
So I guess it makes you wonder though if there's actually going to be some backlash to this if people just straight up can't play who could play before.
Mm.
Yeah. Went shopping today. Got I really wanted to get a lanyard for my keys, so I got a Rocco's Modern Life lanyard.
It's the only true lanyard in
Nice.
life.
Because Rocco's Modern Life is awesome. I also got a. Has anyone here seen Kiki's Delivery Service?
Yeah. It's a great,
Awesome.
great Ghibli film.
Her cat Gigi. I have a rubber bracelet of that.
Aw.
Yeah, because that was like my favorite character in the movie. I was like, it's funny. And then also have some Hot Topic clothes on standby. I'm like, hold on to that jacket. went and bought Richard Dawkins' The Greatest Show on Earth, which is fantastic. It's a case for evolution.
Okay.
And I'm reading Death Note again
Oh no.
Go ahead and
Oh
read.
no.
because it's really good. Went to the in town we at Sandhills where I go to school. There is this like artsy movie theater where they only show like Sundance films, and the film that they were showing today, or not today, sorry, yesterday, was Birdman.
Oh, I've heard
yeah,
great
I've heard
things
about that.
And I went and saw it, and it is fucking fantastic. Go see Birdman.
Yeah, I know. Adam Plays If Your Movie Sucks. He did a video on it. He said it was fantastic.
It's utterly, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Did you notice the thing about how like it's almost one continuous shot for like the entire film?
Yeah, it's
Does it actually like play into the film at all, or is it just kind of like it's a neat effect?
it's a neat effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda
it kind of because it's following this guy's life, so I guess someone could say it's there.
Dramatically interesting.
Yeah, but it's mainly there for effect. But you do notice it at times. You're like, I don't think there's been a cut in a while. It's really cool. Other times though, you don't really notice it. It's kind of like when you're watching Quentin Tarantino and he has like that one scene in his film that has to be one continuous shot.
Yep.
Because that's like his trademark. It's like there has to be one scene in that film, exactly one, no more, no less. That is a continuous shot. And it was in Glorious Bastards. It was in Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Yeah, because I think part of Birdman was just kind of mocking how far like some film creators, like not film creators, like playwrights and some people have just fallen so far up their own ass, and like critics and stuff especially.
Is their ass like Narnia, Chris?
Sure. Like Aslan's up there, and
Ass is like Narnia.
Narnia, man.
Aslan's up there. He's just talking about.
Hanging out.
I still have
Just
no
talking
idea.
about how fucking. I
still have no idea what that even means.
Nobody
Aslan,
knows.
voiced by Liam Neeson.
Is he talking about his daughter, his wife?
And then
New Taken film coming out. It's called Taken, but with a 3 in the. It's presented the E.
yeah, Taken 3, and then there was that was about it. That's seriously all I've done. Oh, and I have on my little list of things that I've done. It feels like it's been it honestly does not feel like it's been an entire week since we last talked about things on the since we last did the podcast. And I was getting distracted playing Neo Tokyo. It feels like it's been like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like it's been a full week. Got a book from the library too, and that's been my whole week.
All right then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That shows. I guess we're on to me now. Oh, man.
Yes, we are. What did you do,
Yep.
Sentinel?
Oh shit. I didn't think about that.
What have you done?
Oh, I broke everything. Just all the internet. Okay, hold on. I guess first I should talk about, just trying to think of in order, since I wasn't here last week. I bought the new Advanced Warfare game. And like no one else talked about it. I don't know if you did
Did you
that last
press
week.
X to pay respects?
Yeah.
I pressed E to pay respects, because I play on the PC Master Race. So my respects were very different from, everyone else's respects. Everybody has their own kind of respects.
So how good does Kevin Spacey look in this?
It's terrifying. Because when you watch
How
the cutscene, Jeff in the Bombcast pointed it out, where he was like, we are just on the cusp of the Uncanny Valley. Like, we have, just 1 foot out of the Uncanny Valley that's into the realm of, photorealism.
Oh shit.
Like, with Kevin Spacey, it's kind of terrifying. Just when you're looking at him during these CG cutscenes, you're like, if he stops moving, it's like, it's Kevin Spacey. Just straight up. You would be able to tell. It's just
But
when
once
he
he
starts
starts
animating.
moving, you can tell it's a computer program.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell it's a program animating that mouth, because it's not, it's just not intricate enough to...
I declare war on the entire world. Fucking dumb.
kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he did. But on the other hand, he did press E to pay respects.
He didn't do that. I did that. I
He did it after you just didn't see it.
Oh, right. Like, are we at the point where we can just spoil the dumbass story in that game?
It's Call of Duty. What is there to spoil?
Who
Hey,
fucking
guess what? There's a
thumbs for the
private
narrative?
military
Like,
PMC and they're evil. So
Okay.
there you go.
So it's
Halfway
only the
through, you
plot
turn...
to every fucking piece of media for the past 10, 15 years.
So like you work for the PMC, and then it turns out they're evil. So you turn against the PMC.
So it's Haze.
Oh God,
For
Haze,
the
no!
PS3.
Please no, not Haze. Not the corn video. I can't take it.
No, there was a game on the PS3
No, I know what
called
you're talking
Haze.
about.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Corn had a video.
The story
for
was
the
actually
Haze.
the story was actually okay with that because it's like, oh yeah, you're killing these terrorists, and to you they look like terrorists, and then it turns out, oh yeah, you're under this
I've
drug.
always wanted to play that because it seemed like such an interesting piece of gaming history, at least recent history.
It was one of the first games for the PS3.
Yeah,
I-
I have an issue. I just brought up a whole bunch of old magazines yesterday, and I still have the copy of official PlayStation magazine. We're like, Haze is the new shit, man. Haze is gonna be the coolest thing ever for the PlayStation.
I remember when I actually have an old Electronic Gaming Monthly where they were talking about brand new this game coming out. It's called Army of Two.
Yep. Dude, looking back through these old issues, I have a copy. My first ever issue of GamePro is from 2005. They were like, guys, Call of Duty 2, the next generation of warfare started. And I was like, oh my god, how far we've come.
I remember I have a Game Informer of on the cover. It has the Xenomorph coming at you, and it's like aliens, Colonial Marines.
Yep, back when that was a whole different game.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
That one actually looked good.
It looked incredible.
And this was before I even had an Xbox 360. I still had a PS2, and I was like, I can't wait till I upgrade.
Yeah, I remember reading that and thinking it was the.
I'm so sorry, Garrett.
And, I was like, I can't wait to go on live, and it's like, oh my god, where is it? And then all of a sudden, my friend's like, oh shit, I'm dead. And we're like, oh fuck, like we're freaking out, and nope.
I remember having my old friend Brent back then. I showed them the issue, and I was like, dude, we're gonna be the coolest online game ever created. Aliens, Colonial Marines, it's gonna be so hype. By the time it came out, I wasn't even friends with him anymore, but he still felt the pain that I did. He knew.
It's sad. I want a game where it's cooperative. That's why I'm so excited.
I just want
for
a good cooperative horror game.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited for the Division.
Dude, if you buy it, actually Division, I probably won't get on PC because I'd probably rather get that for PS4 or something. So.
What about Evolve?
I want to get it on
Evolve, but it's a little too action. Like Division, like I talked to the friend of mine, Bayo, and like he agreed with me. That's like, dude, like people joke about the way they RP those like trailers, and I was like, Bayo, I would totally RP the shit out of that game. He's like, I would too, and I was like, we're gonna play Division together. I can see it already.
I would totally RP. I'd be like, hang, yeah, I'd be like,
that game just looks so cool.
Like I'm on one side of a wall and the other guy's on the other side of a wall, and we're about to go down a hallway. I'd be like, all right, go. And like turn, and like I walk into a room. There's no one in there. My gun's still drawn. I'm like, clear. And he follows it behind me, clear.
I did that. I actually did that when I played Arma, because you had to do that in order to like succeed.
Yeah.
You had to know the terminology.
Yeah, like
it's really weird. I don't have the video anymore, but I recorded one mission we did, and I just literally had a point where it was 10 minutes of me just sitting with binoculars, just watching people move through grass.
Copy that. 10-4.
It was more of just like, you know, somebody go like, all right, you gotta bend down here, and then we sent someone out to scout, and they were like, all right, so how's it going up there? And I was like, you got about 3 guys approaching from the west, heading east. And like certain angles, like I pulled out a compass, and I was like, all right, they're heading at like 270 degrees. Like, it's the ultimate badass feeling. Like more than Call of Duty, just the idea of using the real like terms. Armor's so cool.
Yeah,
Armor just more recognition for what it does. Anyway.
All right, we're gonna take out that guy. We're gonna go to the red box. You ready? We'll go. All right, let's go. Like it's so cool. I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. And I think the Division would be really cool because he'd be like, okay, we have a new machine gun. I found a machine gun. Who wants it? I'll take it. All right, cool. You know, it'd be so cool to do that.
It'll happen, man. 2015.
Yeah, and I saw. I remember the trailer, and in the trailer it was like this. Just you can tell they're actors, but I was like, it's got a nice charm to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's campy. That's what it feels like.
Oh, and I found some people really quick. We'll go back to League. I've discovered a channel that's actually really fun and done by a furry named Soulwolf. The guy does videos where he uses champions in roles that they are never supposed to do, and he actually does pretty good with them. Like recently, he went Jinx in jungle. It's called Break the Meta. It's actually pretty fun.
Well, send me a link through the Skype, and I'll link it on the video.
Yeah, sure. Here.
I'm gonna try to do that relevant links thing again. I don't know if people like it, but I'll try it some more. So Advanced Warfare story's dumb. I'm not gonna talk much about it because people have talked to death about the campaign, but it is good. I certainly saw some people like JV on Twitter saying that it's not as good a second time around, so I'm really curious to play it again and see if it's that good. But first time I played it, fantastic campaign. You know, it's up there with 4.
Did you see Super Runhouse review on it?
Yes.
What did you think of it in comparison to what you thought of the game?
I thought it was funny that he said he didn't like all the downtime, considering that I was actually going to tell him that I thought it was a good example of using quiet time, which he did a whole video on. Like, he said that he found those parts boring, and I was like, I actually really like the times where you're not shooting. But again, JV, who was playing it for a second time, said it was kind of boring. So I don't know. Because the initial idea is that the first time when it's super quiet, you don't know what's going to happen. But he says when the game is heavily scripted as this, when you do have that downtime, you just know how long it's going to be. It's like, I don't know, I still appreciate what they did, because you really notice how, like, little shooting you would do compared to other Call of Duties. There's a lot of moments of just walking around or doing very small amounts of battles. Like, there's only, like, one grand battle in the entire game.
Atmosphere? What's that?
It's really interesting for Call of Duty.
Non-stop for explosions.
It's interesting. As for the multiplayer, aside from some weird technical difficulties I had this moment where I was like super stoked because I got the Day Zero edition, which is just you pre-order it, you get a day early. It's like whatever. And I was playing it and I was super happy because I was like, oh man, I'm doing like really well, and I'm playing it like Titanfall where I'm just jumping around and people don't know what to do. And I thought that if I kept playing, I would have a good chance. The day the game officially came out, I was getting my ass kicked in and out. And I was like, I'm starting to think that the people that I was playing with the other day just weren't like really hardcore Call of Duty players. Because I also forgot that game has like basically no matchmaking. So you can go up against people who are like third prestige, and I'm like, is this really fair? But it's like that, it has some weird issues because there's no dedicated servers, so you can have a lot of host drops and lag and stuff. But multiplayer, really fun. Again, I won't go much into it because people have talked about it to death. Real quick, I think I mentioned that I've been trying to play Alien Isolation a bit. I've been enjoying that. And I've been playing a bit of Evil Within. Although,
how is that?
It's better now that Bethesda's patched it. Because if you ever watch, there's Two Best Friends did an LP, and this is what alerted me to it, is that for a while there was an unofficial patch for the game that allowed you to change the FOV to get rid of the black bars, but it's a very poor solution because it zooms in on the character. So Bethesda literally just patched the game to get rid of the letterboxing completely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious because, you know, Patrick Klepek on Giant Bomb wrote an article about how if you can change it, would that ruin the idea of artistic integrity? That, you know, you'd be going against the artist's wishes because Mikami said that's what he wanted the game to look like. And, you know, it seems like Bethesda's more on the side of, fuck it, just let people do what they want, which is where I agree with. I respect its artistic integrity, but if your game is going to give me headaches, I'm not going to play your game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure he would respect that too if I told him. So it was really nice with that, and it also 60 FPS is now not like a weird console command, it's just a thing you can do, and they said they will support 60 FPS as far as bugs and patches, but they will not support anything higher than that, which is fair.
Yeah.
So playing that at 60 FPS with no letterboxing, way better, because I can see more. But aside from that, it's just like people said, where the opening is just really, really hard, because you have like nothing you can do to fight these guys, and the melee is worthless. If you start meleeing a guy, you're never going to win 100% of the time. It's just not going to happen, because they'll do more damage to you. But
that makes it weird. Like, why had the way that they're in the first place?
You can stun them for like a second, so it's, I guess, if you wanted to get away or if they were catching up to you, but I don't know why they didn't tell it. Like, I feel like there should have just been a prompt. It's like, don't attack enemies, just run away from them if you don't have a weapon. Like, it would have been as simple as that. Because I would go up to a guy like the first time, like, alright, let's do this. It's like Resident Evil, right? Where I can stun them and then drop kick them. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. For as much as that game's like Resident Evil 4, that's not like it.
Nope.
But I had an interesting thing where I quit the game when I picked up, because I first had picked up the pistol and I had like no ammo. But when I got to the end of Chapter 3, I got a shotgun and I got a crossbow that has multiple bolts in it. And I was starting to take down dudes, and I posted on Twitter where I was like, oh, I'm really excited now that I'm actually, you know, getting to kill guys and there's more going, like, I can actually defend myself. And a friend of me and Brandon's, Garrett, posted a reply to me where he says that's where the game stopped being interesting to him. He says now it's basically just enemies become obstacles to overcome, but they're not actually terrifying anymore. And that kind of really made me think about the way people perceive horror games.
Yeah, there is always that line of, it's like people like a horror game to scare them, And the only way you really scare anybody in a game is when you make them feel helpless.
Yeah.
And when you try to do that, then you have people on the other side of the spectrum that bitch saying it's like, well, I'm helpless for the wrong reason. Like, there's got to be some way to defend myself, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there is a very, very hair-thin line of, like, what do you do to where you have someone helpless, but you don't feel like they're being, like, cheap-shotted?
Feel cheated.
Yes. Or you give someone the ability to defend themselves, but you don't make them feel empowered. Like,
yeah, I think that's the difference. There's a difference between being helpless and being empowered, or being unempowered. And thus far, Evil Within, the way they do that is actually the best way, which is just very limited ammo. Like, you know, the joke that Matt and Pat made on their LP is that they say it's Christmas when they get ammo, which is kind of true. Because, you know, I've been having less luck than them as far as the random drops, so when I get ammo, it's like, holy shit, I have 2 bullets, oh my god.
shit.
Like, holy shit.
Don't waste them.
Did you ever play the original War for Cybertron? Holy fuck.
I played a little bit.
Oh god, it was. I just remember running out of ammo so many times.
War for Cybertron is the most terrifying video
Got
game.
Optimus Prime with his big ass gun, and then the fucking thing is out of ammo.
But it was kind of interesting is that Jarrett said that.
Megatron's arm cannon never ran out of shots.
Megatron's also a gun in some versions.
It's like, yeah, it's like he turns into a tank. What's he gonna do? Run out of shit to fire?
But I found it interesting what Jarrett said, just because earlier that week I saw a post from Peanut Butter Gamer. He's a YouTube guy, and he posted a comment that I tend to agree with, which is again, just keep in mind that Jarrett said the enemies became obstacles, and that's why he didn't like it. Is that PBG posted a Twit Longer thing basically saying the reason he can't play Alien Isolation is because he feels so helpless that eventually the enemy becomes an obstacle to overcome just to get to the next bit of story. And I'm like, so that's really funny that you mentioned the hair-thin line of Chuckies, because at some point they become obstacles either way. It's just either an obstacle you have to defeat or an obstacle you have to avoid, but either way, like, it's still an unfun thing to contend with.
Yeah, it's like, when does it feel fair?
Yeah. And, you know, like, that's probably how Alien Isolation I've been trying to play it, is people are like, oh, it's so great and so scary. But because there's absolutely nothing you can do, at least to the point I've gotten, like, a few hours in, to defend yourself, it's just like, well, fuck, like, you just see somebody, it's like, well, I might as well just stand here and just let them shoot me because I don't want to run away and have half health.
It's a problem in the video game space where making really, really hard scenarios is easy. Any designer can make it something that's very hard. Make it fun, though, that's the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a bummer, because, you know, like, Evil Within, I'm just curious if it does go the Resident Evil 4 route. I've heard it doesn't, as far as RE4 just became a straight-up action game at some point. But I think, you know, people bitch about Evil Within, but I think it does nail the right style in terms of just give you limited ammo. Like, you know, Alien Isolation, it's cool and all, but I honestly don't see myself playing it that much anymore, because... like, I haven't even met the Xenomorph officially to the point where it can kill me at any point, but, you know, from the tweets I've seen about it, it's always just like, well, you know, I got 15 minutes in and died, or I'm just constantly stopping everyone. It's like, that just sounds boring to me, not terrifying.
Yeah, it's...
like, just the idea of, like, every 10 feet, let me just go hide this locker for 5 minutes, and it's like, that's not why I play stealth. And it made me think of the idea that the newest Splinter Cell did a good job with that, well, the new 2 ones, Conviction and Blacklist, because Conviction was the first one I saw that gave you the idea of the predatory stealth game, which was that you're technically avoiding people, but you're avoiding them to a point where you can kill them without others noticing.
Yeah, so you can get the drop on them, basically.
Yeah. And I've come to realize that that kind of stealth kind of ruined me for other types. You know, like Splinter Cell, it's really hard to not...
the Angel of Death, as Adam Sessler like to call it.
Yeah, and it makes it kind of difficult to go back to the old school style stealth, where it's just like, you can't be seen. Like, the joke that PBG made was that Amnesia was really great and all, but we don't need to keep repeating Amnesia, as far as you can't do anything to the enemy whatsoever.
I'm curious, Sam, did you ever play Mark of the Ninja?
Yes.
I
love that game.
Yes, it is fantastic. That's...
yeah. And that game, I don't think I ever killed anybody. Just because of all the stuff it gave you to help you avoid that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of... yeah, I kind of like stealth like that, to where... yeah, I can do a bunch of stuff to get the drop on people, but I can also, if I wanted to, I could get through this entire level without taking out anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know our mutual friend and Justin, Chris, but then Justin loves Mark of the Ninja. It's one of his favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I would go on record as saying, like, Mark of the Ninja really was one of my most favorite games last generation.
Yeah. I just kind of wish there was like a 3D game that took the idea of, visual stealth cues. I don't think there is. No, there's one. I don't remember what it was.
Dishonored?
Yeah, Dishonored kind of did that. It did have, when you ran, it, did, little pulses, didn't it?
When you had the dark vision on,
Yeah.
it would actually show you your sound waves.
So people have touched on that. But yeah, Evil Within, I'm more curious to try. Alien Isolation, unless somebody convinces me otherwise, it'll probably be something that, I'll pick up in January and be like, I don't know, I'll just try it again, but I don't see that interesting to me. I'm glad I tried it at least, it's an expensive thing to just try and not like, but,
yeah.
I'm at that kind of point where I can afford to make that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just cool, I tried it out. Other than that, I picked up Enslaved Odyssey of the West Premium Edition because I love Enslaved.
What did you think of that?
I really like Enslaved. I played it way back when on the Xbox, back when it came out.
I still never finished mine. I still own it.
Oh, it's not the greatest game ever, but I think it.
It is good.
I describe it as a hidden gem.
I liked it, but I thought that it was mediocre in many respects.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't really care for the combat, but it kind of reminded me of Eco, in the sense that it's more about building a relationship with the characters, and I think a lot of that goes to Andy Serkis being an incredible fucking actor.
Yeah, that was definitely in strong suit, but in terms of the combat and the exploration, it was kind of mediocre.
Yeah, but again, that kind of reminds me of Eco, where Eco didn't really have great gameplay.
No.
It was just more about the dichotomy between the two characters.
And I tried to go back to Eco.
Eco's it's hard to go to unless you're really strong-willed to just get to that story. I did it with a walkthrough the entire time.
Yeah,
that's how I played through Vagrant Story, except I had a custom save at the time too.
Yeah. So with Enslaved, though, it's funny that even the Eco comparisons also come down to the fact that in Eco, in order to help move the girl around, you had to hold her hand, and in Enslaved, you have to pick up Trip. You basically just have a button that you sling her across your back, and she just, is.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a straight up thing where she's like, I can't jump this far, and he's like, all right, and you just take her by her two arms and just fling her onto your back, and then you just traverse with her like that. So this might sound really weird. I've always thought to talk more about this in depth, but that's a very good, if not very easy way to build a relationship. The idea of, with Eco, where it's a very easy thing to do to just pair them physically by just saying, let's just hold hands, and, that's a very easy way to say they are building a connection by the way they hold each other's hands, or the way they look at each other. But at the same time, it's very good. I want to... It's either Enslaved or there's a third game that I don't remember that has a similar aspect of carrying a partner, where the way that they look on you, the way they shift around is different later on. I want to say that Trip has, a more relaxed posture later on in the game.
Near the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, there was that bit where you had to help
Ava?
What's her face? Yeah, Eva. Yeah. Because, she gets fucking impaled after you wreck your bike, and you have to help her through that last segment.
Yeah.
And granted, this is the only time where anything like this happens throughout the entire game. Whereas before, it's you've talked to her and she's fended her for herself and everything. And the only reason that Snake is helping her around now is because, like I said, she gets something fucking through her stomach, and you gotta make sure she doesn't get fucking injured or die. And she's limping along, and there are occasionally points where you have to push her up a ledge or, help her get across something. And it's not a very long segment either. It's actually something for, a few screens here and there, but... yeah, I would say that's kind of an example of something where you have a relationship with this character because you've seen her in the incredible long cutscenes that MGS has, but you've gotten to know her character very well to this point. And to see her injured and kind of helpless, unless she has you there to help her, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And granted, they don't really have the time to, allow the player to take in, how her posture is or something, because her posture is fucking injured. It's... Although, aside from that, it was you still also had the mechanic that MGS3 had, which was, having, Snake would have to eat, hunted animals and food and shit. And with Ava, you also had to feed her, too, to keep her strength up.
Right.
So you really did kind of have to take care of her in a way that, most players wouldn't have to really fend for a character before. So
Yeah, that's another case of like something that's very easy to think of, but still very powerful.
yeah,
It kind of makes me think though that I don't think Enslaved ever touched on this. I guess it's something that kind of Brothers did a little bit. Like the idea of using the gameplay aspects. Like it'd be cool if Enslaved got to a point where later on in the game, like Triss didn't need, or Trip, I keep calling her Triss, Trip, didn't need to be picked up for certain jumps if she got to the point where she could just do it herself, and there would be basically a gameplay aspect that is changed because of the actions in the story. Like, because I keep watching this Matthew Matosis guy, who I love to death, he keeps talking about the idea of making games more like games and using gameplay aspects, and that seems like something that would be really cool. And like I said, Brothers, I'm not going to spoil the ending of that because fuck you.
Yeah.
But it really changes the game up at the end, and that's a very good example of using game aspects to change things like that. But I guess trying to go back to the Enslaved thing, that's why I like it so much. Is like I don't really care for the combat. Story it's minimal. It's just get from point A to point B essentially. But I would have probably liked it even more if it was just even put harder on the characters. Like even if the combat was ostensibly worse, if they focused even more on the characters, I'd probably like it that much more.
fun fact. Enslaved was loosely based around or inspired by the story of the Monkey King Sun Wukong.
Yeah.
So-
Yes, it's based on
The Odyssey of the
story,
West.
Yep. I've always wanted to read that. Just to get an idea of where it came from.
Sun Wukong's totally in Smite.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. I would go as far as to say that if you haven't played Enslaved, if you can get it on the cheap on disc or if you get it cheap on Steam, it's worth playing.
It's
at
worth
least.
playing one time.
Yeah.
Exactly once.
I'm going back in just because I really like that, because I already explained why, that style. But if you were someone like me who found the gameplay aspect of holding hands and Ico to be interesting from a video game perspective, you really like Enslaved. That sounds oddly specific, but I'm sure there's someone out there who found that aspect interesting.
Yeah. Or if you just really dig Andy Serkis like I do.
God, why he needs to be more in stuff. He's such an incredible
God,
actor.
yeah. He really is. Well, he's going to be in the fucking Marvel movies.
It's true. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Picked up a whole bunch of other games I don't really want to bother talking about because I didn't play much. Going down. I will touch a bit on Valkyria Chronicles. I played it years and years ago on the PS3, and Brandon, you probably remember this better than I did. I got to the point where I was in a desert, and then I just quit.
I know the mission you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. That's
Yeah.
one of the hard
That's where
missions.
the game actually gets, like, hard.
Yeah.
So I bought it on PC, if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen, because I was just laughing my ass off, keep checking the Steam page, and see that, yes, Valkyria Chronicles is the top seller above Assassin's Creed Unity and Advanced Warfare on Steam.
I
Yep.
love it.
It's the best thing. I don't know if it still is. But
It's
it's
like,
really,
wow, Sega, you did something right.
For once in your fucking life.
And
See? It won't kill you to put something here in America, Sega.
I
Now,
really,
if we can only get the sequel, this VC3
And
English
all those
translation.
fucking Yakuza games they won't put out here.
yeah. To be fair, at least they do put out like the main. They just don't put out like the side stuff like Yakuza can.
Yeah.
Japan era.
We're
Well,
about
they-
Valkyria
they-
Chronicles 3, you motherfuckers.
Or fucking re-release. I don't know. That's not. I was gonna say Sega should re-release Valkyrie Profile, but that's probably not them. It's
No,
fucking
that's
long
Square
since-
Enix.
Valkyrie
That's-
profile.
Oh, that's never gonna happen.
But
that's
they
Trials.
could HD up the second Valkyria Chronicles game.
Wait.
They could, they won't, because it was a PSP game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get it on the Vita though, from the PSN store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked Brandon about that. I was like, that'd be super bummer if I could. And he's like, well, you can't.
Yeah, because
so-
any game that's on the PSN store for a PSP game, you can make it. You can play on the Vita. Any of them.
So Vita's a great PSP machine.
That's
isn't
why.
it?
That's why like certain games like Crisis Core or Birth by Sleep aren't on the Vita because they never made a digital release because of their DRM.
Just fucking put Crisis Core on the Vita.
See, the thing is
No,
that
Square was-
both of those games, their DRM is a check to see if you're using a disc.
Yeah,
so you have to,
Square
like,
was
alter the
really
So if you have a
shitty
download
about-
copy, you were not able to play the game because of the check.
Yep,
Oh my
Square was
God.
really shitty about that.
Damn it, Square.
I don't know what their deal was either.
It was during the same
And
time.
Birth
that,
by
like,
Sleep was
Assassin-
released when the PSP Go was announced.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, though, that was during the time of like Assassin's Creed 2 and like all that weird Ubisoft DRM. Like DRM was a big deal during that era. I say era, it was like a few years ago. God.
It does feel like an era in a way, though.
Yeah, it feels like a different time already. Valkyria Chronicles. Oh, the last thing. Well, not the last thing. Last thing on Steam, real quick. I barely touched this. According to Steam, I played 12 minutes. I feel like I played like half an hour. Was This War of Mine came out.
Oh, yeah.
And man, did that thing have a killer trailer that sold that game.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about it earlier, I remember.
Yeah. So, as it turns out, not what I expected. I really thought it'd be like a 2D stealth game, like Mark of the Ninja style. It's just straight up, like, real-time strategy survival game with multiple people. And, which is kind of unfortunate, because I wanted a bit more going on, but apparently it's the kind of game where you just start, and then eventually you will die, and then you just restart, and you just kind of see how long you can last.
That's weird. That's a strange...
Yeah. It kind of bummed me
That's
out.
not at all what I was expecting with the game, actually.
Yeah, I
No.
expected it to be really story-heavy.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
story-driven.
Yeah. It's still interesting for what it is, but it's unfortunate because now I'm still craving my really story-heavy, being caught in the middle of two sides war game.
Yeah. There was
So it's unfortunate this won't be it.
there was a comic. I can't think of what it was called, but it was a comic that centered around a group of lions that this was during the Iraq War. Not the Gulf War, but the Iraq War that was going on, back when George W. Bush was president. And it was kind of based around some of the events and stuff that was going on about lions escaping from some zoo in Iraq and how they're trying to survive with this war going on. And it's really sad and really harrowing shit. God, I want to look up the name of this. Someone fucking leave a comment telling me what this comic is. It was...
Someone will
Fuck
know.
it, I'm just going to look it up now.
Someone will know. So this War of Mine, I'm not going to say disappointing
This
yet,
War
'cause
of
I
Mine
barely...
looks really good.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say it's
I mean,
disappointing
the moment
yet.
a
It's
game
just...
violates your expectations like that, it is disappointing in a way.
Yeah.
The question is whether or not it's still good on its own merits, divorced
Yeah.
from those expectations.
So,
Oh, the Pride of Baghdad is the
Okay.
name of it.
Cool.
Okay, this was a graphic novel about...
Get it? Because of Lion's Pride.
Well,
Uh,
like I said, kind of related to the idea of This War of Mine, but Pride of Baghdad, it was based on story is fictionalized account of a true story. 4 African lions that escaped from Baghdad Zoo after an American bombing in 2003.
jeez.
And like I said, it is very harrowing, very sad stuff, and it gets pretty fucking gripping.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. For this War of Mine, I'll be able to tell you more about it next week. I'm sure, because I'll be playing it more. But it's like Brandon said, where I'm sure it has potential to be a really good game, but just being that it wasn't the game I expected, it just automatically, like, at first gave me a bad impression.
Mm.
So, if you're a developer out there, I'm still looking for my caught between two sides, like, stealth
That's
game.
also an important note for developers. Make sure you set the right expectations in your...
Well, I guess that's the problem is
stuff.
that unless I avoided the other trailers, all I ever saw was that initial reveal, and it gave no impression that it was a strategy game.
Yeah, so, my question is, so there's no, characters at all that...
There are characters, and they have stories, but I haven't seen them interact in a way that gives them any backstory.
Okay.
Like, literally, it's just like, this character is Boris, he's a good cook, therefore it takes one less of each ingredient to make a stew.
Okay.
And, like, this character's a linebacker, he can dig through stuff faster.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
See, this is a lesson for game developers. Make sure you set up the correct expectations with your trailers.
Yes.
Dead Island, I'm looking straight
God.
at you.
Yeah.
Dead Island.
Holy shit.
Fuck, what was it? Brutal Legend. We're gonna be coming to RTS.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know.
There was a game that stretched itself too thin.
We'll see with this War of Mine. I have a friend of mine who just Skyped me before this started. He wanted to talk about it because he's been playing it a lot more than I have, so maybe he'll have some different opinions. I guess the last big thing, because I know I've been taking up a lot of time, I try not to talk about every game I play, but just any worth discussing. So the last thing is, because Dragon Age Inquisition is coming out Tuesday, I decided to go back and try to fucking speed through Dragon Age 2 again.
I would not even
That
do
gave me a
that.
headache pretty fast.
Yeah, you earned that headache.
Did you play Origins?
I played through most of it. and then I lost my save data. I told you about it like weeks ago, where I
Yeah.
lost my Dark Souls save data and all that.
So my question to you: have you heard about this thing? Isn't it called like the Vault or whatever they're doing?
Keep.
That yeah.
I learned
so-
about that like yesterday and already set up my file. I was
yeah.
gonna explain that at the end.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I can say it now. It's that basically EA set up a thing called the Keep, where it's just it's a web browser where you can all you have to do is just select the choices that you made in the prior 2 games. Like, it doesn't import your save or anything. You just say, alright, in Origins, like, hey, what did you do with Morrigan? Like, alright, I had sex with Morrigan.
And that turns those choices into a save file you can import.
Yes. It turns it into a save file you export, and then
It's kinda
import
like that-
into Inquisition.
Yeah, it's kind of like that motion comic that Sony did
Mass
back.
Effect.
Yeah.
It's the same deal.
Yeah, that was made by Dark Horse.
Although in this case, it's glancing over, like... Or in this case, it goes over almost every choice in the game that is of any value.
Whereas in the Mass Effect comic, it was
It was the important
really-
stuff. Like, only the most dead important things.
and even then, he got a lot of details incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was because they had to do all the motion stuff, and this one is literally just, it's a bunch of squares, and you just click a square with art on it. So that's cool, though, because, you know, I basically saw that, and I was like, well, fuck trying to rush through Dragon Age 2 again. I
Yeah.
like that game. I like it a lot. I've said that before on this cast before.
Yeah, and I
Not
know
enough to
you're
try
wrong.
to speed through it in 2 days that I had left. So that was pretty cool. That I just selected the choices I remembered from my first playthrough of that. I had to kind of BS some decisions in Dragon Age Origins because I only beat half of it.
All of the decisions are BS. That's what are you talking about?
That's right. So I'm just really...
You're trying to act like some of that shit matters. That
In Origins?
no, in 2.
Yeah, there's decisions that matter.
Do they?
Yeah. You get to decide people who live or die, they're going to be in Inquisition. Plus, basically, Dragon Age Inquisition, if you didn't know, is like... It's directly affected by the events of 2.
Don't you play as somebody? No, I think I know for a
No,
fact.
it's a new
You play as-
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, literally,
The
like, what
Inquisitor.
happens at the end of 2 is that the mages and the Chantry go into a full-on war, and that's where Inquisition starts.
Yeah, I
but-
remember.
Yeah. So, like, it's important that you know what happened in 2. Like, the story is important, whether you like it or not,
I
how
know
good it
full
is.
well what happened. It's
Anders is a fucking bitch, but we can talk about that later.
I think Acharg was talking about how all the choices you make don't matter in 2, not the story itself.
I still think there are choices that matter, as far as who lives, who
I guess
dies,
kind of.
or...
Yeah, just
I don't think there is many meaningful choices. You can literally look at the keep and realize there are less choices. But, I mean, it's just more of, like, who lives or dies, which basically just affects who you're going to see in Inquisition. That's all that really matters. But, you know, I will still defend Dragon Age 2. I saw some people come out of the woodwork, like, past few days. Some people who, you know, work for some game websites going like, yeah, Dragon Age 2 is not that bad, guys. It's disappointing. It's all fuck.
yes,
and
it
the biggest
is.
environments completely suck. but
Again,
Holy
it's
shit.
it's the violation of expectations.
Yeah. I think it's a game that, given all the time it needed to have, like Dragon Age Origins did, it could have been a great successor.
Yeah, but,
But
EA
it was
wasn't
really
having it.
hampered by the limited time.
Yep.
Which is
Way to
funny.
go, EA.
Yeah, but Inquisition looks like the kind of game that 2 was supposed to be. And I think people are very excited for that.
Despite my shitting on that the second game, especially, as well as I know we all mocked the idea that the game was going to have multiplayer, but from what I have read, I read the review on Destructoid that had it up, and I've heard it was actually not that bad. Like, it's not
Yeah.
as gross and scummy and bullshitty as Mass Effect 3, and that they actually do treat these things like separate entities. And
Well, it's funny is that it still has the Mass Effect 3 style chest, like, things you get at the end of battles.
but it's
Yeah.
not as super gross with microtransactions, though.
No, you can
Yeah,
buy stuff
it's-
with real money. You can buy points for chests, but you don't have to. And you know, and the big thing is that Mass Effect 3, you needed to play multiplayer to get the best possible ending for 3.
Yeah,
So that was the
That's
real
brains
shit part.
bullshit.
Because
Yep.
people who play Mass Effect are not really multiplayer gamers for the most part.
Nope.
Yeah,
So
I love Mass Effect, but yeah.
I want to play it alone, goddammit. So that's
Yep.
the thing about 3, is that, to my understanding, it's like just totally separate. It's like, just fuck it. You use your character, you get to... It's like playing Dragon Age, where everybody controls their own party member, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that in concept. So Inquisition looks cool. I think that's it. Like, I've been playing Hyrule Warriors more, but I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. I tried playing some more Bayonetta 2, but the oddest thing is that I keep stopping because I want to play it. I'm like, dude, I'm so psyched. Let's play some combat. And it might be just because I'm early on, I guess, but just cutscene after cutscene, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm sorry, but these like clockwork spinning cutscenes with still frames are not interesting enough to keep my attention.
Oh god, yeah, those are so dumb.
Yeah, like I understand it's them just like Platinum's really good at, you know, flexing their budget and, you know, doing what they have to do. But dude, like I don't care enough about what's going on to not be fighting.
Yeah, it's like the game. It really is like the gameplay is why I'm here. Just shut the fuck up and
yeah, or just like tell me in the background or something like you do in the very beginning of the game.
yeah.
It's just like
When we're not going to listen.
It's just funny because everybody's like, "Oh, it's so great," and then I think it was funny because I thought that, and then I saw Gray Carter on Twitter, you know, talking about he's like, "Nobody told you about these shitty parts of Bayonetta 2, did they?" I was like, apparently not. It's like people forgot to mention because he mentioned like the cutscene part. He mentioned a lot of reused content and areas and stuff. And he's like, guys, I hate to break it to you, it's not the greatest game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still really dig it. I need
think
to spend
it's
more
great.
time
I
with
just
it.
wish it would shut up and let me play it some more.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a beginning of the game.
I think that
thing. I'm
this
like
game
chapter
probably
6 or
suffers.
7.
This game probably suffers from the same problem that Interstellar has in theaters right now.
So much exposition.
Yep.
Not enough time for it all.
Just shut up. Just
Shut up. Shut up. Anyway, I think that'll be it for me. Like I said, I played some other shit, not really worth talking about, because it's either replaying stuff or just not noteworthy things.
Hey Sam, I have a question for you.
Oh, no. What's
Did you
that?
ever read Shonen Jump back in the day?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about that.
I read Yu-Gi-Oh! And, I don't know where my fucking issues are. They're probably still in the basement.
Oh, so you still have issues and shit sitting
I have
around.
an issue that I got in Scout Camp. Because
I'm sure you have issues, Sam. Let's not talk about those, though.
I have issues and baggage. They're all over the room. So the first one I ever got was back at Scout Camp when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something, maybe younger. And my mom sent me one in like a box. It had like candy and it had an issue of Shonen Jump, first one I ever saw. And I remember reading it and it had like Yu-Gi-Oh in it and it had like some ads for some video games. What was it? Yu-Gi-Oh! It had Dragon Ball Z. It had Naruto. It was like chapter 8 at the time. Like it was that young.
Wow.
I still remember the specific chapter too. It was when Sasuke got fucking nailed by Zabusa's apprentice, the girl. I don't know if you remember anything about early Naruto.
Haku.
Yeah, it's Haku. Yeah, so remember when Sasuke gets
He's a
fucking
boy.
owned? Fucking whatever. I don't remember anything about that series. It's over now. Naruto and Sasuke kissed. It's over. I don't. Oh god, Naruto. And I don't remember much about that except that it was the thing that got me into manga. Because I remember first opening it up and it's like, hey, you're reading it out the wrong side. And then it had this exclamation that's like, in Japan, you read from right to left because the written language is from right to left and up to down. That was the first issue I got, and I remember that I went canoeing at some point in that trip, and I don't remember why I had that issue on me or anything else, but when we got to the very end, the guys flipped our canoe over, and it ruined that issue.
Oh no.
Oh,
So
it
water
sucks.
damaged. I don't know where it is. But I got a few more after that, and it had I got one that had a issue of Bleach in it, or a chapter of Bleach. I got one that had there was a special edition of Yu-Gi-Oh that had Capsule Monsters, which was what Moko Kaiba's brother, Mokuba. Yeah, which he played, and that was never featured in the anime. That was interesting.
I'm wondering why I know this and not you.
You think I would know? Well, I think it's just because I know more about like current anime, and that just means I forget everything about older stuff. Like I don't remember much about Yu-Gi-Oh or Naruto.
Whereas I have not kept up on modern anime at all, so I have plenty of room in my head to keep up with the old, to remember all the old stuff.
Let me tell you about old Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
I'll tell you about Shin Megami Tensei 4.
No, you've told us about Shin Megami Tensei 4 for fucking weeks
Shin
now.
Megami Tensei 4?
Shimagazi! Oh, man, that got dark fast. I remember the other... Oh, I forgot to tell you that, starting last week, I started hanging out with a couple of friends of mine that I have not talked to in years, and it basically just comes down to we go to my basement, and we watch anime on the big screen, and we make fun of the fact that we watch anime. pretty great.
Just self-hating kotakus
Yep.
or what?
Yes.
Does one of you guys make fun of the rest of you, not realizing that he, by proxy of being with a bunch of nerds watching anime, is also a nerd?
I
Like
mean,
how long does
there's
it?
one guy who is like, he's the dude who collects the figures and he plays the idle game on his phone and all that, and he'll mock the stuff we're watching, and we're like, dude, fucking come on, really? It's like,
Like
you're
how
waiting.
like how long is it until one of you are pointing fingers at each other of which one is the fucking weeaboo in the room? Like this.
Oh, that happens like every time.
And the answer is all of them.
It's just funny because you're to this moment where like we're watching one that was called like "Oh I want Twin Tail Umatsu" or something. It's like I want to be the Twin Tails, and we're watching it. It's so bad, and we're like, oh, it's so bad compared to this anime I watched. And you're like, oh, you fucking nerd watching this anime. It's like, dude, we're all watching anime, you jackass.
It's like the night is over when somebody when somebody suggests to put Honey Flash in. Just
Oh, we've watched so much bad stuff.
No, the
though,
night is
man.
over when Honey Boo Boo gets mentioned.
We watched fucking that, which is about a guy who wants to save fucking the Twin Tails anime is about a dude who's trying to save the world from monsters that are just taking away Twin Tails, like the hairstyle from the world. Like they just shoot a ray at girls and they lose their Twin Tails. And he's like, I will not stand for this.
I was gonna say,
Well,
isn't that
I mean,
the premise
that's
of
an improvement.
Bobobo?
Kind of.
I mean, if you lose your twin tail, that's an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you want to talk about how fucking nerdy these people are? I had a discussion with them about the proper way to put up Twin Tails in a hairstyle. Because we were watching that, and it was like, we were just like, oh, this girl sucks. Like, why? It's like, she's got the Twin Tails at the sides, man. They gotta be, like, towards the back. And it's like, we're on the back. It's like, gotta be, like, the lower back. It's just like,
I don't even fucking
it
know.
was the dumbest shit. I thought to record this at some point, because I was like, this is just beautiful. Like, I'm so glad I got to talk to them again, because I haven't seen them since, like, high school. And it's like, but some things never change.
Yep.
But I will also say,
Nerds.
I will also recommend that you guys watch a series called Unofficial Sentai Akiba Ranger. Because
I know that.
Yep. Because
I know what that
It's
is.
a guy who wants to be a Power Ranger. And it's like a joke series, and it's like the whole joke
Yes.
is that like, no, Power Rangers are real, but you're not a real one, so you gotta work to be a real one. And it's like half parody, half new
Like
series.
basically anytime they're morphed, they're just hallucinating.
Yes. Like
And-
they call it the Grand Delusion.
Yeah, and there's this chick who's like the villain, and
She looks like
the
a
running.
SS villain. Like a
Yeah, and
Nazi.
like there's this running joke of just getting her clothes off, which I think
Yep.
is great.
It's great because they don't play it for like sexy. They just play it like, oh, this is so dumb. Like it's ridiculous.
But she is kind of hot though.
I just like every time we watch it, we're like, dude, I just want to see his face. I just want to the red guy, the guy who's Akiba Red. It's just this
Yeah.
like 30-year-old dude with a scarf going like, I want to be the Power Ranger. It's like, yes.
Like the thing that's so I've seen some episodes of this thanks to a friend of
Oh.
mine.
Oh, the show.
She would stream it, and the thing that I thought was hilarious is when they would get actors that actually played in Super Sentai series
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
and
I see
they
them.
had the one guy who played the Red Ranger from Deca Ranger.
Yeah, that's in episode 2 of season 1. We just
Yeah.
watched it last night.
Yeah, and like the character's name was Bon Bon, but I don't know what like his actor's name was. And like the fucking red Akiba Ranger guy, he's like, "Oh, Bon Bon." He's like, "No, I'm not Bon Bon, jackass. I'm
I'm a real
I'm
person,
just here."
man.
He's like, "I'm here for a convention, man." Like,
It's just this, like, I can't even get to explain it because it's like half parody, but it's a parody that takes itself completely seriously.
yeah, because it does go to some places like near the end of the first season that they did, which surprisingly enough that they decided to do more than one season of, which is great. But
Yep.
that, and wasn't there like some weird jokes, like some fucking tranny jokes about the yellow one or what?
Yeah, we were talking about that because when they take the cat ears off her in the second episode, like we were just laughing and watching it. At some point, they take the cat ears and they're like, put the ears back on. And like a super
Yeah.
manly voice, and I was like, dude, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it's like just kind of
weird.
transphobic stuff going on,
I
or
don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be played for jokes or something, but like it's just weird because also the very ending, like the ending is sort of this happy sounding song, but the lyrics are basically saying, my life may be terrible, but my dreams are grand." Like it's saying like even though I may work this terrible job, even though I may one day die, my dreams are beautiful, and it's like this is so fucking weird for this show.
Yep.
Because the whole concept's a guy who lives a dead end life as a delivery guy, wanted to be a
What-
Power Ranger.
What show is this? Because it sounds fucking
Unofficial
awesome.
Sentai Akiba Ranger. I'll link you later.
God damn. All right.
Yeah,
It's fucking incredible.
it is basically a parody on Super Sentai that
Yeah.
Japan is doing from the same network, no less.
Yeah, but it's so weird because it's like a parody that takes itself seriously, and that's why it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
it's not intentionally trying to be funny, it just is because it's crazy Japan.
Yep.
Oh, it's just so great.
Like it is
It's
it is a parody of the show of a show from the people who make the same show.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I mean, it is essentially like fucking. I want to say Car Ranger because that was also parody.
I remember the first clip a friend of mine ever showed me, and we'll wrap this up in a minute. But the first thing that got me into it was a friend of mine who sent me a clip that was Akiba Red talking to the doll that they have, because the way they morph is they have a figure that turns into
Yep.
a gun, a figure of a girl, you know, like Japan. And it
Yep.
turns into a gun, and they shoot the gun, and it morphs them. So one of the scenes I saw was him talking to the girl, and the girl comes to life in like 2D animation, like Hatsune Miku style.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I will protect my waifu till the ends of the earth."
Oh
It's
god.
like, oh my god, this is gonna be great.
So dumb.
It's, yeah, I will say though, like, just shout out to my friends who hang out with me every Saturday. Now that we started doing that, because it is so great to just nerd out about anime, because I have no one else I can do that with. To just be super otaku, weeaboo, fucking whatever. Just watch anime, and we know it's dumb, and we love it.
Otaku weeaboo. I'm glad
It's
you
the
said that, not
greatest.
me.
It's great, man. We watch some slice of life, we watch some action. We don't really watch anything that heavy, but it's all good. Watch a show called Good Job Boo. It's pretty good. It's got a girl who eats meat like Monster Hunter.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Let's.
All right, we're done. You guys got any final remarks?
There was nothing that went up on my site this week aside from the texture pop because I was really, really busy.
How dare you? Disappoint me, Brandon. Expectations, you said them.
The next plastic figures I buy for a video game are going to be fucking amiibo.
Oh. You got anything, Garrett?
Nah, I'm good.
I don't think I was here to say it last time, but I did put up a new little article about Neverending Nightmares. I was kind of hoping to spark some
Ooh.
discussion, and then I broke the comments. So I got to go talk to Discuss about that. But I've got a new one
Yeah.
I'm working on that will be out this week. So, as always, me and Brandon will link our websites at the bottom, so you can check those out. Brandon posts more than I do, but I will catch up to him.
No, you won't.
It'll happen. I'll just post 17 articles a week, and I'll catch up. In like 4 months.
I have over 50,000 page views on my website.
All right. Well,
It's over 9,000.
All right, now we're done.
Yep.
Well, thanks for sticking around, guys. We'll see you next week.
Hello,
Bye.
goodbye, everything.
Goodbye.
You say hello, and I say we're getting sued.
Hello. Good night. Auf Wiedersehen.